She replied, "Fine, I can manage without you regardless." Following a breakup argument, I responded, "Show me." Then I ensured she had the opportunity to do so. What she learned about herself in my absence forced her to retract those statements when I, 29, male, suppose I ought to have noticed the signs earlier. But when you're immersed in it, you persuade yourself circumstances are otherwise than they truly are. Illa and I had been a couple for 4 years, shared a home after one. Reflecting now, the warning signals were evident from the beginning. She'd tease about struggling with grown-up tasks and how I served as her daily organizer. Charming initially, less so when I understood I wasn't her partner. I was her aide, whom she sometimes shared a bed with. The argument occurred on a Thursday. I'd requested she manage one task while I was at the office. Contact the property owner regarding the faulty dishwasher. Straightforward, correct, returned home to see her lounging on the sofa browsing TikTok. Dishwasher remained unrepaired. Her reason? I overlooked it. Anyway, you're more skilled at speaking with him. That was the breaking point. 4 years of I overlooked it and you're more skilled and I'll handle it later. Simply shattered something inside me. Ma, we must discuss the sharing of duties here. Truly, it's merely a call. It's not merely a call, it's all of it. When was the previous occasion you managed something without me guiding you step by step? She shifted from uninterested to protective very swiftly. Her. Wow. Apologies for not being flawless like you. Apologies for lacking spreadsheets for all matters. I'm not demanding flawlessness. I'm demanding equality. I manage our payments, schedules, groceries, meals, fixes, arrangements. What do you manage? I have employment too. I add funds. You have part-time work at your pal's shop. And indeed, you add some funds, but I'm referring to daily oversight grown-up obligations. That's when she exploded. Maximum volume. Neighbors surely overheard it all. Her, you know what? Fine, I can manage without you regardless. I was okay before you and I'll be okay afterward. You believe you're so essential. You're not. You're merely handy. The term lingered. Handy me, show me. What? You can manage without me. Show me, let's end it. You can demonstrate how okay you'll be. She chuckled, truly chuckled. Okay. Observe me succeed without you overseeing my every move. She gathered a suitcase and departed for her closest friend Becca's residence that evening. Shared some motivational line about fresh starts on her Instagram story. Here's where I likely should have simply released it, but that term handy, it altered something in my mind. She aimed to demonstrate she could manage without me. All right, let's observe. Update 1. Didn't anticipate updating this soon, but goodness, the sense of entitlement is genuine. So after Illa departed, I began the clear actions. She wasn't listed on the rental agreement, never troubled to complete the forms. Guess who always managed that? I replaced the locks, entirely lawful, packed her belongings carefully. Messaged her she had 30 days to organize collection. Initial days were complete quiet, she was sharing endlessly. Meals out, evenings away, embracing my finest existence. Descriptions, all right, positive for her. Then Tuesday arrived, received a message at 2 a.m. her Netflix isn't functioning. May I update the password? What on earth? Provide the updated one. Me, it's my subscription. You stated you can manage without me, recall. Are you for real, Ren? Over Netflix. You'll manage without it. You're succeeding, correct. She dispatched around 20 additional messages labeling me small-minded. I didn't reply. Wednesday, altered approach. Her hello, my phone service was disconnected. All right, I assumed you covered it this period. I covered my phone. Yours was owed on the 15th. You always manage that. No longer. We ended it, recall? You'll manage without me. Her, this is so ridiculous. Simply cover it and I'll reimburse you. No, you can contact them and establish your own subscription. Complete quiet once more. But Becca began sharing indirect critical posts about false males who can't cope with self-reliant females. Certainly. Jan Friday was lovely, received a call from an unfamiliar number. It was Illa borrowing Becca's phone. Her, I can't enter the bank account. Which one? Her, our account. We lack a shared account. You refer to my account that I permitted you to use my card for? I require funds. Becca's tiring of me not adding anything. Appears like your issue. Establish your own account with what funds? Your salary from your position. That arrives next week and it's merely part-time. Then perhaps secure extra shifts or a second position. I can't fathom you're acting this way after 4 years. I'm not acting in any way. I'm simply not handling all anymore. You aim to demonstrate you can manage without me. Here's your opportunity. She disconnected on me. But here's the highlight. Learned from a shared acquaintance that she attempted to return to the residence while I was at the office. Key failed to operate. Clearly, she reportedly had a total breakdown in the corridor. Property supervisor had to request her departure. She's now contacting shared contacts attempting to loan funds because guess this, she can't recall any of her access codes for banking programs, credit lines, anything. Because I always managed that as well. The lady who claimed I was merely handy can't even enter her own funds because she never troubled to learn her own monetary details. That's fate delivering itself promptly. Update 2. This update is extensive, but so much has occurred, I must record this disaster. After the previous update, Illa went all out attempting to complicate my existence. Spoiler, it rebounded dramatically. First, she attempted the sentimental control path. Began messaging from various numbers, acquaintances' devices about how harsh I was acting, how we were essentially wed and I was obligated to aid her, how she was facing psychological issues due to me. I retained every message, replied identically each time he stated, "You can manage without me, I'm honoring that." When that failed, she intensified, appeared at my workplace twice. First occasion, she acted sorrowful. Waited near my vehicle at midday. Tears prepared. Her, "Can we simply converse, please?" Me, "We conversed. You stated I was handy. We're finished." "I didn't intend it that way." Me, "How did you intend it?" Her, "I was simply upset." Me, "And now you're simply without funds. Not my concern." She began shouting about how I monetarily mistreated her by stopping support. Guards arrived. I clarified she was my former who wouldn't stop bothering me. They requested her departure. She departed, but not prior to yelling that I'd be sorry. Second occasion, she arrived with support. Becca and 2 additional acquaintances. They attempted to surround me in the parking area. "You must step up and support Illa." "Why?" "Because she's facing difficulties. She can't even cover her vehicle payment." "Then she ought to vend the vehicle." Other acquaintance. "You can't simply desert her." "I didn't desert anyone." She departed. She stated she could manage without me. I'm simply concurring with her. She must rest on my sofa, then bill her for it. They all began speaking simultaneously about obligation and true males and how I was acting mistreating. I retrieved my phone and began filming me. "Are you bothering me at my job site right now?" They quieted immediately. Departed without further comment. But the finest portion arrived last week. Recall how she couldn't recall her access codes. Well, turns out she also couldn't recall other quite vital matters, like when her vehicle registration expired or her coverage payment or that traffic violation from 3 months prior she neglected to mention to me. Guess what occurs when you ignore a traffic violation? They revoke your permit. Guess what occurs when you operate on a revoked permit with outdated registration and expired coverage? Indeed. She was stopped. Vehicle was seized. She was detained, had to pass a night in custody because Becca was finished with her issues and wouldn't release her right away. But here's where it becomes truly excellent. While detained, she skipped a work period at the shop. Not the initial one she'd skipped. Turns out arriving promptly is challenging when no one's rousing you anymore. They dismissed her. So now she's without employment, without vehicle, with a revoked permit and legal costs. And then this is my preferred portion. Her mother phoned me not to scold, to express regret. "I'm sorry, she's been bothering you. We informed her for years she needed to mature." Me, "It's not your responsibility. We supported her as well. Always rescued her. No longer, she must gain knowledge, positive for you." May I inquire, did she truly not know any of her own access codes? She didn't know her own identification number until last year. Extended exhale. Heaven assist us. Apparently, Illa had relocated home after Becca expelled her, but her parents issued her a demand. Secure employment and add or depart. She had a fit. They remained resolute. She's now desperately submitting applications everywhere. But turns out possessing 0 recommendations because you were dismissed for absences isn't ideal for seeking positions. Last I learned, she was pleading her mother to guarantee for a new phone service because she couldn't clear a credit review. For years, I devoted managing every element of this lady's existence, and she truly believed she could manage without me. The finest aspect, I'm succeeding. Turns out when you're not overseeing 2 existences, you possess far more time and resources. Received an advancement at the office. Began seeing someone who truly understands how to manage grown-up matters. Existence is positive. Meanwhile, she's discovering what I can manage without you truly implies when you've never covered a payment promptly in your existence. Final update. Wasn't intending to update once more, but the resolution to this tale is too ideal not to disclose. So for the past month, matters were calm, too calm. I assumed Illa had ultimately embraced reality and was progressing. No, last week received a message from an unfamiliar number. "Hello, this is Illa. Can we converse?" I've been reflecting a great deal. I nearly disregarded it, but interest prevailed. What do you desire her? I desired to express regret and perhaps clarify some matters. Could we gather for coffee? Open location just to converse. Contrary to my wiser instinct, I consented. Encountered her at a Starbucks in the city center. She appeared worn, hair in a disordered knot, no cosmetics, dressed in casual wear. Distant from the photo perfect I once knew her. Appreciate your arrival. You have 10 minutes. Just, look, I've gained much these past few months. Such as her that I don't understand how to function as a grown-up in any way. I remained quiet, or did you realize I didn't even understand how to fill out a check? I had to search it online. Search it online. I'm 28 years old. And I'm regretful, not attempting to regain you. I recognize that opportunity has passed, but I needed to express regret. For what exactly? For regarding you like an employee instead of an equal. For labeling you handy for all things. She continued to describe how she'd been in counseling required by the court from her detention. But still, how her counselor had her catalog every single task I used to perform for her. The catalog was 3 pages long, single-spaced. I didn't even recall our residence for the initial 2 years. How disturbed is that? Quite disturbed. My mother had to instruct me how to wash clothes. Because you always performed it. The disclosures continued. She didn't understand how to view her credit rating. Didn't comprehend how vehicle coverage operated. Had never arranged her own medical visit. The catalog persisted. At the worst, I was pleased with not knowing, like it rendered me unique or endearing. Oh, I'm just poor at grown-up tasks. Like it was a trait instead of a huge personal defect. She informed me she was employed in 2 positions now. Store work daytime, serving evenings, residing with her parents but covering rent, attending money management courses at the local center, learning to prepare beyond quick heats. I have a tracking sheet now for payments. I recalled you when I created it. I had to chuckle at that. I'm not requesting anything. I desired you to realize that I comprehend now. What you endured, what I imposed on you, and I'm regretful. All right. What do you desire me to state? Well done for mastering fundamental existence skills at 28. No, that's just. She began to weep. Not the controlling tears I was familiar with, just surrender. May I inquire you something? What? Why did you remain so long if I was this problematic? Because I cared for you and I continued wishing you'd desire to be an equal instead of a reliant. I believed I was being a positive partner. I truly did. I believed relationships were meant to be like possessing a guardian. Yeah, goodness, that's twisted, isn't it? Yeah, it is. We remained in quiet for a moment. The lady you're seeing now, does she recall her own access codes? She oversees her own savings plans. Positive, that's positive, you merit that. She rose to depart, then looked back. For what it's valuable, you weren't merely handy. I was just too undeveloped to distinguish between affection and reliance. And now I comprehend and I must exist with that. She departed. Haven't received from her since. Shared acquaintances inform me she's still employed in both positions. Still residing at home. Still attending counseling, handling it one step at a time, ultimately discovering who she is when she's not being supported by another. As for me, existence is wonderful. My new partner and I just organized a trip together. She managed her portion of the reservations. It's the small details. Sometimes the greatest retribution isn't retribution at all. It's just permitting individuals to face the outcomes of their own decisions. Illa stated she could manage without me. Turns out she was incorrect. But more significantly, she required to be incorrect. She required to stumble, to face hardship, to gain knowledge. She devoted 4 years confusing taking advantage for affection and reliance for closeness. Now she understands the distinction. And truthfully, that's the most ideal conclusion for all concerned. Don't misunderstand, I'm not supporting her. I'm not her supporter, but I'm pleased she's ultimately maturing, even if it required losing all to arrive there. Because that's what transpires when you mix up an equal with a guardian. Ultimately, you must mature, whether you desire to or not.